Hey, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. The title of this video, Fixing and Repairing Storage Auction Finds. Should you do it? I get this question all of the time. I bought this unit, I got this stuff, but this is broken, and this is missing, and what should I do? And what should I do? Depends. Depends on the unit, depends on you, depends on your skill sets. There is no easy answer, I'm sorry. But I will give you some of my experiences. I will give you a hard one, and I'll give you an easy one. The hard one, I bought this unit. Awesome unit. There was a headboard, there was a footboard, nightstand dresser, and nice mattresses. And it was only 4 of us. But the unit was such that you could see everything in the unit, and there were clearly no rails for that bed. Clearly. And the headboard must have been damn near 6-7 feet tall and massive. I got the unit for little or nothing because everyone is like, this thing is like, yeah, you can sell mattresses and you can sell furniture, but the guys that were there that day, they weren't furniture people, so I got it. And I had to make rails for the bed. Actually, it took me 2 tries, and I spent about 68 bucks, maybe $70 between the stain and the wood. And then I had to create a platform because, notice I said the headboard was massive and the footboard was massive. And I actually drilled a hole from the front, from the headboard all the way back and forth, and put like this inch thick bolt. Because, you know, people are like, well, maybe you could have used like an anchor screw or whatever. I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking that whoever buys this bed from me is not going to fall on them. That was my first and foremost concern. So I made that bed super sturdy. Big Pun could have jumped on it and that sucker wouldn't have moved. And the people who bought the bed were like, wow, you know, her husband loved it. He's like, you know, this is the only bed I've ever been in that doesn't shake, it doesn't rattle, because I built that sucker for freaking tough. 68 bucks, little or nothing for the unit. Sold the bedroom set for 850 bucks. For me, it was worth it. It took me time and effort. And if I want to go ahead and say probably 10 hours of labor, because I would do a little bit here and there. To me, it was worth it. You have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is this something that you can do? Is this something that you can make a go of? That was hard. That was the hardest repair I ever had because I essentially had to create rails, stain the wood to match the headboard and the footboard, and create a support system. Because, you know, remember back in the days when your bed would fall, you didn't have a support system. Now every bed now has at least 1 to 3 pegs in the center, and that stuff doesn't happen anymore. So that was the hardest thing I ever had to repair. You know, also with that, it's going to Home Depot, it's going to Ace Hardware, you're looking for pieces. Some of the stuff, if it's an import furniture, it's going to be metric, which means you've got to kind of match it up because it won't always be 100% correct. It was a lot of time back and forth. Now I'll give you an easy one. Bought this unit and there was bones. Bones being furniture pieces. There was some funky furniture pieces with nice lines, but the furniture was all chewed up and scratched up and messed up. I got the unit absolutely free. And you know, I had to paint and stain. I know you said, oh, this is easy. Yeah, it was an easy $3,000. Yeah, it was an easy $3,000 with maybe $250 worth of effort and time and materials into it. So that's a way for you to come up, because someone recently in the group posted that they got a unit like really for nothing, and this is what happens during the summer. If you are ready, the deals are going to be out there. I'm already seeing signs. It's out there, but the thing is, the deals are not going to be, they're not going to be sexy. They're not going to be sexy. They're not going to be pretty. They're not going to be like, ooh, wow, I know that's instant money. No. You're going to have to work. And also with the fixing and the repairing, whether you've got to find parts, whether you have to make repairs, whether you have to paint, restain, you have to ask yourself, are you set up for that? Because if you live in an apartment, you're going to have to find the workshop. If you got a house with a garage, that's 50% of the battle. For me, I always thought it was worth it unless the item was just totally ass out. And the reason I always thought it was worth it, because we had a process, we had a warehouse, we had a system. At any time, there was 10, 20 pieces over in the corner somewhere waiting to be fixed because I got them dirt cheap, just did a little love. And I had a guy who would always come to the warehouse because he fixed up furniture. He would always wanted the best stuff for nothing. I was like, dude, I'm gonna do what you're gonna do. If I can't get to it, give me your card and I'll call you and we can make a deal. But otherwise, I'm gonna stain it, or I'm gonna get one of my Latino friends to do it, and I'm gonna sell it for big money. So that's the deal. That's one of the ways that you can realize a nice profit if you have vision. Let me tell you about many of the units I bought. People laughed at me when I bought some of these units because they were like, they could not see the money, but I could. And that's how you make money, seeing value in things that other people miss or too damn lazy to do the work. Did I say that? Too damn lazy to do the work. You're going to run into a lot of that this summer. I'm telling you, as the heat climbs, the enthusiasm, the energy will drop. It will drop like a rock. You will not see people going all the way to the end of the auction trail. You'll see people cutting out early. So hydrate. This is how you deal with the hot weather of summer. Start hydrating 2-3 days before. You're not going to be able to replenish all those fluids that you will lose the day of. It's not going to happen. So you always have to be in a state of hydration. You'll be able to think better, work longer, make more money. And it's also, just safety, because you don't want to be dehydrated. You get dehydrated, you're going to have to go to the hospital, and they're going to have to put some in your arm, and then you're going to be like paying this big ass bill for something that you could have prevented. But, here's a quick cheat sheet for you. If you see an item, you have to ask yourself, do I have the skill sets to fix this myself rapidly? That's the first question, because if you're not a handy person, if you are like totally Mr. Fix-It handyman inept, this may not be the road you want to embark on. But if you're like Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It, I'm telling you, this is a way for you to come up in the storage auction game, because as this thing starts to mature, like I said, I'm seeing signs. There are people who are like bailing out. I did the video, which a lot of people didn't like, and I don't care. I call it 1 out of 250. They're dropping. You will see an acceleration of that behavior this summer. 2 reasons. For some people, the economy is getting better. There are people who are kind of thinking about dipping their toe in the storage auction game, but that job's looking much better. And if they can get that job and make the money they want, they're not coming out there. So mark my words, in 2 years, I'm not going to say it's going to be back to normal, but it's going to be easier for those who create the infrastructure, have the business mind, and the plan to make more money than it is now. It's coming. I'm serious. One of my students emailed me some pictures, and he was shocked that he got these units for what he paid. And one of my policies is I don't put your stuff up there if you're affiliated with me, because you never know who's at that auction, who saw what. So I'm not going to put your stuff out there. So if you want to send me something, sure, it's not coming up here. Unless you say, hey, Glendon, I don't give a damn, put it up on YouTube. But definitely, fixing stuff is worth it if you have the skill sets, the time, the spot, and the ambition. Because that's more important than anything else. So take from this what you may, and hopefully it will help you with your business. All right, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions.